All right, you're welcome back. Emmanuel Sebastian, it's your show now. Let's dance.
All right, so it's still the Sport Buffet on Elegbete TV Radio. Wherever you tune in from in Nigeria, in any part of the globe, of course, you can listen to us wherever you are on the globe via the radio link www.elegbetetv.com/radio, or you can download the app on your Play Store. Just go to your Android Play Store and search for Elegbete TV Radio, and you can listen to us clearly and very sound. We are a few days into the African Cup of Nations. The much talked about African Cup of Nations, the build-up wasn't as straightforward as it is. Should it be postponed? Should it be cancelled? Clubs not releasing players, this and that. All the Cameroon not ready, and so many negative talks. And we all thought the AFCON might not go ahead, but it seems it's going to go ahead. We've seen countdown from CAF on their various social media handles. A lot of people building up to the competition. Squads camping. Getting to camp and getting to travel to Cameroon, where the tournament will be hosted. But our focus is on the Super Eagles. I mean, we are Nigerians. We love the Nigerian national team. But first up, before we get into the team, there's the talk of a new manager appointment. We know Augustine Eguavoen is the interim manager of the national team and will lead the team to the AFCON. But just before the AFCON proper, we saw the NFF release a statement about a certain man, Jose Peseiro, who will come in to manage the team after the AFCON. Now, they released a statement that after careful consideration of a memo presented by the chairman of the Technical and Development Subcommittee, the committee endorsed a proposal for the appointment of Mr. Jose Peseiro as the head coach of the Super Eagles following the end of the relationship with Guinea. However, the committee resolved that Eguavoen, who is named the interim coach, will lead the Super Eagles to the AFCON in Cameroon, with Mr. Peseiro only playing the role of observer. It was unanimously agreed that the AFCON is a good avenue for Peseiro to launch a working relationship with Eguavoen, who will revert to his role as technical director. Now, what do you make of this appointment? I mean, we were having an off-air conversation. You were telling me how Amaju was serious about getting a foreign coach and all that. And at the end of the day, with so many names being linked, it is Joseph Peseiro who gets the nod at the end of the day. Now, what do you make of this appointment? What do you make of the man? And, looking at the CV, the teams is managed, or what do you make of Peseiro coming to manage the Super Eagles national team?
History-wise, I wouldn't say that he's got an history that excites me. 10 games with Venezuela. We know how it ended. And other games other teams that is handled, but then he won the league with Ali. That's something to note. And some of that good results with some of that teams, you have to first skip to his honors and see the things that he's done. With Nacional, for instance, he got the Segunda Division 1999-2000, AF Medera Cup 2001, 2002. With Sporting, he got to the finals of the UEFA Cup. That's also the CV. That was also what was on the CV of Ganatrol. Remember, he got to the finals of the UEFA Cup with Bordeaux of France. And then with Sporting Braga, he also got the Da Liga, which is 2012-2013. That's like the Carabao Cup in Portugal.
Yeah.
But with Al Ahly, he won the Premier League in Egypt in 2015-2016. With Porto again, he got the Teca da Portugal as runner-up. So if you look at it, maybe you could say that he's a coach that is good at being in the cup competition, getting to the finals of cup competition. Let's just judge him by that. Apart from the Al Ahly league win, every other thing he's done is get to the finals of cup competition and win them. But then you look at his record over the stretch of time since he started coaching in on the 2nd of from 29th of October 1996 up until now. I wouldn't really say he's done terribly bad, but also not excellently well. 627 games, 307 wins, 148 defeats, 148 draws, and 172 defeats in the process. One of the things that is a shortcoming in his game is the fact that his teams does not score goals that much. That's something that bothers me, and his team just concede as much as the they score as well, because they've scored in this period of 627 games. Its teams have managed to score 974 goals and conceded 708 goals. So not really good. The total career percentage of result is 48.96%. Now, does this mean that he's a bad coach? I wouldn't say so. But Joe, before coming to win the Olympics for us in '96, does not have a good CV. And before taking us to the finals of the African Nations Cup, to me, that was the best Nigerian team I've ever seen in terms of tactics, in terms of understanding each opponent, playing differently to the different opponent that they played against. When we played against Congo, even though we got a draw, it was a different setup. When we played against Morocco, Finidi George was in the midfield. And when we played against South Africa, we scored Nigerian's fastest Nations Cup goal with Tijani Babangida playing from the left. All of those, the changes that came with each game. Cameroon, we went down 2 goals, we came back 2-2. It was penalty. You can't blame the coach for that one. So that's one moment. Then you look at some other coaches that we've also had. They've not really been excellent before coming to Nigeria, and then you stretch it to Africa too. Before Avi Renard came to Africa to win the first Nations Cup with Zambia, wasn't really excellent. We could argue that why is Africa not getting the very top coaches if we want to go for foreigners? Truth is, we can pay. When you convert naira to dollars, if we're struggling to pay raw, and our journalists are even, our sporting fans and journalists are even lamenting that Ghana Troy is earning too much, where in my opinion it's not even earning enough. You can't even dream for that, because you can't have a Keke Napep budget and be dreaming of a Ferrari. That's just the fact of the matter. But focusing on Jose Peseiro, what I think is Nigeria as a people, we as a people and as a country, we like anything foreign. Okay, my very good friend and now partner, production partner, Suleiman Falari, said something last night when we were having a meeting, and it just hit the chord straight up when we were discussing the same matter. He said that Nigerians send their children to school abroad, primary school and secondary school abroad, because we like anything foreign. So we buy clothes abroad, we buy shoes abroad, people order pizzas from abroad to eat pizza. They order from abroad. So when you look at all of these elements, this is who we are. We can't sit here and begin to blame the NFF for doing what Nigerians do. Our president go abroad to treat ear pain, headache, fever, to take care of fever abroad. So who are we? Who is the NFF not to follow suit? This is the template that we have on ground. It's in our culture. If he comes from abroad, it is special. If it's local, it is not. Look at the Super Eagles players, for instance. We have a Nations Cup. We have gone through this mess. We struggled to qualify. We're dealing with European clubs not releasing the players. But those ones that have been released are in Nigeria. The captain of the team, he came to camp yesterday, yes, but was in the country since his league, the league he plays for, a shutdown in Turkey. He came to the country on Sunday. He was in Kaduna watching Kano Pillars. The same Kano Pillars I signed for and didn't play matches because he was busy running around, avoiding to travel with the team. He was there watching while his teammates were training in Abuja. You are the captain. Are you not supposed to be the first into the camp, and then you're the one calling the rest of your teammates, guys, let's make this happen. We have a Nations Cup to play. We need to. This probably, okay, there's a Nations Cup next year, but this probably should be Ahmed Musa's last Nations Cup. How does he want it to go? These players do this because it's a local coach that is there. I'm not sure if Ghana was still around, Ahmed Musa would try that. Even under Ghana, we still saw a lot of indiscipline, but it's looking like it's going a notch higher. So getting Jose Peseiro is not a problem. They said the taste of the pudding is in the eating, not how it is cooked. Okay, if some of us look at how foods are cooked, we would never eat it. But let's see what he does. I'm not one to always say that because a coach have not succeeded somewhere, it means he will not succeed somewhere else. Okay, Ranieri was not a serial winner when he came to Leicester. Leicester didn't look like the club where he would win the title. Ranieri had coached Chelsea before with more money than Leicester. But then in 2016, he shook the whole world when he won the Premier League. So it's something that is possible. What do we need him for? That's my own. What do we need him for? Do we always employ coaches for them to go and win us trophies that they might not be able to win, because the target given to him is, okay, get to the finals of the Nations Cup, which is the next one in Cote d'Ivoire, get to the quarterfinals of the World Cup? Do we really have a squad? Are we providing him with a squad that will get to the quarterfinals? Have we even qualified for the World Cup in the first place? Okay, but those are the target for him, which is also good. It shows that the NFF is ambitious. But when are we going to settle down and set a roadmap of development, structure, system that would help us to really progress as a country football wise, like the Germans did, like the Spanish people did, the Dutch, the Italians, and the rest? When are we going to be obsessed about that kind of developmental structure and system where our national team will have training facilities, camping sites, and then we will have a program where the coaches are properly trained? Because if you don't have good coaches,
sorry to question. When you're talking about it, reminds me of the interview you talked about Shino and Shea Olofinjana, why he turned down the Super Eagles job. There were no plan, no roadmap, exactly. So it just reminds me of that interview and all that.
So if you look at these coaches that are taking up this job, there are CV coaches, as Sir Alex Ferguson called Rafael Benitez, coaches that coach for CVs and coaches that coach to make a difference, to make impact. This coach is going to come, enjoy his first few months, and then the normal crisis with the NFF will come up, and there'll be struggle, battle with the press, running to the press to clean image, to defend himself, and all that. Salaries will be owed. When are we going to say we are Nigerians? The real problem is not even the players now. The problem is not even the coaches we have. The fact is that we've not been able to train our coaches very well. Take, for instance, the other day I heard Coach Ayere saying that we've not had a CAF licensing training since 2017. I've not been able to investigate very well. I'm not one who depend on one side of the story, but I'm looking at Ayere as a credible source of information. If we've not had a CAF licensing training for coaches since 2017, that is a problem, because it means that the younger coaches that are coming have just been stagnated. So we need to provide platform for them to grow, because it means that those younger coaches cannot get certain kind of job because they are not certified to certain level because of the licensing and requirement and all that. So we need to work on that. I still insist that the biggest problem in Nigerian football is in the developmental side of it, and the fact that we don't have the best coaches. Our coaches are really, really poor. That's the truth. If you go watch our league matches, it's hard to see a team that can pull passes for 2 minutes, 5-10 passes together before you get to a goal. That is a problem. That is fundamental to our football. Are the talent good? Yes, they are. But at some point, when you get bad coaching, evil communication, they say corrupt good manner. When you get bad coaching consistently, what is good about you begin to go bad. That's just it.
All right, so still on Peseiro before we move on into the team. He's coming as an observer for the AFCON. I mean, no doubt the target will be, get us past the playoffs, get us into the World Cup, qualify the team for the World Cup. Remember, we still have that playoff to get over with in March.
God help us so that we don't play DR Congo anyway.
Why? DR Congo? I mean, that's the one of the least team I was expected to we would want to avoid.
That's the one team you should avoid. That team is going to go to the World Cup. They might not do well at the World Cup, but that team is going to the World Cup.
All right, interesting. But Peseiro is coming as an observer for the AFCON. What do you may right call to see the team from afar? Do you think he should one way or the other have an input into the team? No doubt Eguavoen is the manager. Will be on the touchline, but with Peseiro, coming. Just to come on as an observer, do you think that's the...
I think if he's going to take over the team after the Nations Cup, and let's not forget that the qualifiers is in March, so the Nations Cup goes on in January, February, the players goes back to their club, will come in for the most number of days he would have with the team is 3 or 4, maximum 4 days. Knowing Nigerian players and their challenges of not coming to camp early, the highest it will get with them for the first game is 4 days. So the Nations Cup is a good place for them to meet. My only reservation is if Eguavoen wins the AFCON, like Keshi did, if Eguavoen, miraculously wins the AFCON, are we still going to say, Eguavoen, thank you for winning the Nations Cup, but go and be a football director? Jose Peseiro, we are obsessed with you must come in. How does that it's like a man who's looking for a male child while his wife is pregnant and goes ahead and marry another wife. But then the wife delivers triplets of boys and he's in the process, he's already married that one. And that one is not pregnant. What do you do with the wife? That's the kind of situation that we find ourselves. If Eguavoen, it's a very big if, but I mean, in football, anything is possible. If Eguavoen goes ahead and win the AFCON in Cameroon, what are we going to say? We don't look like a team that will win it, so nobody should get their hopes up. But if a very big if, astronomical if, he wins the Nations Cup. What are we going to do? We're still going to say Eguavoen step aside, Peseiro come and take over the team with all those euphoria, with all those excitement, with all those joy, those bubbles in the air. We will say Eguavoen step aside, go and be football director, and Peseiro, Jose Peseiro, come and take us to the World Cup. Do we have the conscience to do that? That's my only fear. But as an observer, yes, it's needed, because if he's the man that's going to take over after now, he should know, he should understand the mentality. I don't want to use the word DNA now, so that Manchester fans don't, the Manchester don't come into our team, so that we don't start playing a Squid Game formation. Oh, sorry, Kalija, don't be offended. but hey, if he needs to observe at close quarters, because between February and March we don't have any window for international games until the World Cup playoffs, so he needs that.
You are listening to Elegbete TV Radio.